This is the End Zone. Before we get into the video, I want to apologize real quick. In my last video about Notre Dame, when talking about DJ Uiagalelei, I said CJ. It was in between classes. I didn't really have a chance to go over the video and edit it. For that, I'm sorry. The YouTube commenters have announced that I'm officially being canceled. But let's move on to a quarterback whose name is much harder to pronounce than DJ Uiagalelei, Derek Carr. Now, why is nobody talking about Derek Carr in the Las Vegas Raiders? I don't really understand it. Maybe because they're just not as exciting of a team as some of the other teams. You know, New Orleans just came off that huge win. There are a lot of other quarterbacks like Kyler and Tua, kind of the storylines around the league. But sitting at 5-3, coming off of a big win versus a dangerous Chargers team, the Raiders are the second team in the AFC West with big wins over the Saints and Kansas City, and yes, losses to New England, that's not a good one, but Buffalo and Tampa Bay, those aren't bad losses at all. I want to talk about Derek Carr and this Raiders offense that no one is talking about. First and foremost, a lot of this talk of the offseason was that this Gruden-Carr relationship was just not going to work out for a very long time. John Gruden is a coach that loves to push the ball deep down the field. You can tell because of the personnel and the receivers that he has. But last year, Carr averaged 4.9 yards per completion, which was dead last in the National Football League. Gruden brought in Marcus Mariota, which everybody thought was very interesting, from Tennessee. And we started to hear rumors, we started to hear talk about this season being a test for Carr. Maybe they're going to draft a quarterback. Maybe this season is a test for a quarterback to be drafted next year. But this offense went ahead, they added Henry Ruggs. They have Darren Waller, one of the best pass-catching tight ends in football, especially when he gets round to that red zone spot. They have a star in Josh Jacobs. I really like Hunter Renfrow. They brought over former Eagles first-rounder, what many thought was a bust, Nelson Aguilar. So far this year, he's done great. And so far this year, Carr is second in the NFL with 9 throws over 40 yards. And his yards per pass have gone from a disastrous 4.9 from last year to 7.8 this year. He's completed 69% of his passes, thrown for 2,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, and only two interceptions. He's had some marquee wins, and he's playing his best against some of the better teams, including the Saints, and of course, recently against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Raiders are 11th in points per game. They really got to have a strong offense. Aguilar and Ruggs both average over 20 yards per catch. Hunter Renfrow has 27 catches. He's the leading wide receiver. Darren Waller is the top 5 tight end. He's the leading overall receiver on this team. Now, the next games on the schedule are the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Falcons, the Jets, the Colts, Chargers, Dolphins, and again, the Broncos at the end of the season. Now, the Raiders could finish with 9, 10, maybe 11 wins. The Chiefs game is going to be tough. Falcons could be a shootout. Jets, that's going to be a win. You never know with the Broncos. The Colts are a solid team defensively, but that offense really struggles. And the Chargers are the Chargers. They're dangerous. Also, Tua and the Dolphins are trying to make a playoff push. That could be an interesting game late in the season for 2 potential wildcard teams, maybe. And no one's talking about Derek Carr, but the dude's been a gamer. The Raiders could possibly get into the playoffs this year. I think that they will. And as of late, he has been playing his heart out. My question to you is, will Derek Carr be a franchise quarterback, or will he lose his job possibly this year in the draft, maybe later? Are they going to draft a quarterback this year? There's a really deep class. Maybe a guy like Mac Jones falls to the Raiders and they decide to pick him up. I'd love to know your opinions. What do you think is going to happen with the future of the Raiders and this year? Thanks for watching the End Zone. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment so we can move the chains.